Still tinkering with that little website of yours? Dad's teasing voice cut through the hum of Thanksgiving chatter. I muttered the name quietly, slicing into my turkey. Nexus Digital Solutions. Jennifer snorted behind her glass of wine. Oh yes, your little company, she said. And how many people work there in your home office? Dad asked, raising an eyebrow. Her bedroom, you mean? Mom chimed in, feigning concern. Sweetheart, when are you going to get a real job? Jennifer's company just went public. Madison Technologies, the pride of the family, built by Dad over decades, now managed by my flawless sister, had been worth billions since their IPO 6 months ago. They never missed a chance to flaunt it. We work remotely, I replied for what felt like the 100th time. Our team is spread out. Spread out. Dad snorted. You mean you can't afford an office? Meanwhile, Jennifer had just unveiled Madison's brand new headquarters downtown. 50 stories of prime office space. I quietly took a sip of water, thinking about the emails I'd seen that morning. Messages about stealthy acquisitions, about the plans that would unfold at Madison Technologies' upcoming shareholders meeting. How many people visit your little site now? Jennifer asked, feigning curiosity. Dozens, maybe? If only they knew. Nexus Digital Solutions wasn't a side project, it was a digital powerhouse. While Madison Technologies clung to clunky, old-fashioned software, we had been quietly reshaping how businesses functioned online. We're doing fine, I said, keeping my voice casual. Actually, we just finalized a major deal. Dad interjected, turning to Jennifer. And tell everyone about the new government contract. Jennifer grinned. The Department of Defense is implementing our security protocols across all systems. It's a $5 billion contract. Now that's real business, Dad said. Mom beamed. Not like some internet hobby. I checked my phone beneath the table. Another message from our CFO. Shell Company Beta had acquired another 2% of Madison's stock. Nexus now controlled 48%. Next week would be decisive. You know your problem, Angela? Dad said, swirling his bourbon. You never get scale. Real companies need offices, infrastructure, thousands of employees. You can't build something serious from your laptop. Irony prickled my skin. While they had been obsessed with traditional tech, I had built a company that lived entirely in the cloud. No overhead, no offices, just efficiency. Mom suggested brightly. Maybe you could work at Madison. I'm sure Jennifer could find something suitable for you. Jennifer nodded. We always need support staff. You'd have to learn our systems, though. I appreciate the offer, I said, smiling faintly. But I'm busy with Nexus. Busy with what? Dad asked. What could possibly keep you busy with that little website? I thought of the acquisition documents in my briefcase, of the shareholders meeting, of the stunned looks on their faces when they realized what I had built. Just business things, I said vaguely. I should go. Calls to make, I added. Calls? Jennifer laughed. With imaginary employees? Something like that, I replied, gathering my things. Good luck at the shareholders meeting, she said, suspicious. Never thought you cared about Madison. Let's say I've gained a new appreciation for family businesses, I said, heading toward the door. One last glance back. By the way, how much of Madison Technologies does the family still own after the IPO? 30%, Dad said proudly. The largest single block. Interesting, I said, letting a small smile slip. Their confusion followed me out the door. They had no idea that while they mocked my little project, I had been quietly buying Madison stock through multiple shell companies. In my modest Honda Civic, a vehicle they had endlessly ridiculed, I checked the latest numbers. Nexus Digital Solutions now controlled nearly half of Madison's shares. By next week's meeting, we'd have a majority. My phone buzzed. A text from the CTO. Everything was ready. The board wouldn't know what hit them. I drove past Madison's new headquarters, Jennifer's crowning achievement, soon to be just another asset in Nexus' portfolio. Dad's mocking voice echoed in my mind. Still playing with your little website? Oh, Dad, you have no idea what I've been building. The week leading up to the shareholders meeting passed in a blur of calculated maneuvers. While my family prepared speeches about Madison's growth, my team executed the final stages of our takeover plan. By Thursday, Nexus controlled 52% of the shares. My parents and Jennifer remained oblivious, too caught up in their post-Thanksgiving celebration plans. Miss Blake's voice came through my laptop as I settled into my bedroom office on the top floor of a renovated warehouse in Seattle's tech district. Everything was finally in place. Nexus Digital had just overtaken Madison Technologies in market value by 300%. I allowed myself a small smile, thinking about Jennifer landing that $5 billion government contract. Nexus had quietly secured a $10 billion deal with the European Union last month, but we kept it under wraps. In today's world, silence was a sharper tool than any announcement. The morning of the shareholders' meeting, I dressed with careful precision, choosing a charcoal gray Armani suit. My jewelry was subtle but expensive, and I wore the watch my father had teasingly gifted me last Christmas. Behind unmarked doors and advanced security, my real office was alive with activity. Hundreds of employees worked remotely, yet seamlessly connected through our proprietary systems, preparing for the day's strategic maneuvers. "They've arrived at Madison headquarters," my head of security reported. "Your father just gave an interview about the family legacy to CNBC." I watched the clip on my phone during the ride downtown. Dad stood in front of Madison's logo, smiling proudly as he spoke about building the company from scratch and how Jennifer was carrying on the family's tech values. He even jabbed at us indirectly, implying that real technology required physical infrastructure. The irony was exquisite. I walked into Madison Technologies' lobby at exactly 9:45 a.m. The security guard did a double take. Usually, Jennifer's assistants would usher me out whenever I tried to visit. "I'm here for the shareholders' meeting," I said politely, handing over my credentials. His eyes widened as he read them. "Miss Blake, I didn't realize. Please allow me to escort you," he stammered. The conference room was packed with shareholders, board members, and financial journalists. Jennifer was at the podium, flawless in designer business attire, rehearsing her speech about Madison's bright future. Dad and Mom sat in the front row, proud smiles plastered across their faces. They didn't notice me slipping quietly into a seat at the back. Jennifer began promptly at 10 a.m. "Welcome to Madison Technologies' first annual shareholders meeting," she said. I let her go on for exactly 5 minutes before making my move. Standing, I cleared my throat. "Excuse me, Miss Blake," I said formally. "Before we continue, I believe we need to discuss the matter of voting rights." Jennifer faltered. I'm sorry. Who?" "Angela." Dad rose, face tight with anger. "What are you doing here? This is a private meeting for serious investors." "Oh, I am very serious," I replied, smiling and nodding toward my team, who had quietly entered. "As the majority shareholder of Madison Technologies, I think it's time we consider some changes." A ripple of whispers swept through the room. Jennifer gripped the podium tightly. "Majority shareholder? That's impossible. Our family controls 30%. 28% actually," I corrected as my team distributed documents to the board members. "You might want to keep a closer eye on your stock movements through different entities." Nexus Digital Solutions now controls 52% of Madison Technologies shares. Mom's perfectly styled makeup faltered as she processed the revelation. "Nexus Digital? Your little website?" I walked toward the podium, gently moving Jennifer aside. "Would you like to see our market valuation? Sarah, please display the data," I instructed. The room screens lit up with Nexus Digital's global reach, revolutionary platforms, and a market capitalization far beyond Madison's. "This is ridiculous," Dad sputtered. "You can't do this with a website." "A website?" I laughed softly. "Dad, Nexus Digital powers half the world's e-commerce. Our cloud infrastructure handles more data than Amazon and Google combined. While you were building fancy offices, I was building the future." Jennifer sank into a chair, her speech papers scattered across the floor. "But the government contract," she stammered. "You mean the DoD deal?" I pulled up another screen. Interesting timing. The Pentagon just announced that all their systems will transition to Nexus Digital's quantum-encrypted platforms, effective immediately. The next hour unfolded like a masterclass in corporate strategy. I methodically highlighted Madison Technologies' weaknesses: outdated infrastructure, excessive overhead, and their failure to grasp the digital revolution. I displayed comparative charts, demonstrating how Madison poured billions into physical offices, while Nexus Digital invested in cloud architecture and AI. Our operational costs were a tenth of theirs, while our revenue exceeded theirs 40-fold. Dad attempted to interject several times, his face cycling through colors I didn't know existed. Jennifer remained motionless, her perfect composure completely shattered. Mom had abandoned any pretense of dignity and was openly crying. "Let's discuss the terms of acquisition," I said, signaling my team to distribute the final documents. Nexus Digital Solutions would absorb Madison Technologies entirely. Every tangible asset was slated for sale, even the extravagant headquarters we were standing in. "You can't be serious," Jennifer finally managed, her voice cracking. "This building, it's our heritage." Heritage. I turned toward her slowly. "Let's discuss that word. Remember 5 years ago when I tried to show you the cloud platform I was building?" I said. "You told me, exact quote, 'Real tech requires real office space.'" She winced. "Or how about last Christmas, Dad?" I continued. "When I tried to explain our AI breakthroughs and you joked that I was wasting my life, messing around with gadgets while Jennifer built an empire." Several board members were now openly watching the unfolding family drama, some unable to hide their discomfort. "The numbers don't lie," I said as I projected the company's true financials for everyone to see. "Madison is running at 40% efficiency. Your software stack is outdated by 3 generations. Your cloud architecture barely exists. The only thing keeping your valuation afloat was the family name. And that name now belongs to me." My mother stood up, pale, desperate. "Please listen. We're still family." "Family?" I laughed quietly. "Was I family when you dismissed everything I created? When you treated me like a disappointment because I didn't dream of a mahogany desk and a floor full of employees?" Sarah approached with her tablet. "Update. Madison stock is tanking. Investors are reacting to the acquisition announcement." "Of course they are," I said. "Investors recognize forward momentum. Nexus Digital is the future. Madison represents, well, the market can smell a fossil when it sees one." Jennifer straightened, hope flickering in her eyes. "We have a federal security contract. They won't permit a takeover while we're deploying critical infrastructure." "A valid concern," I admitted. "Sarah, show them the statement from the Pentagon. The one published 2 minutes ago." The screen shifted to breaking news. Department of Defense cancels Madison Technologies contract. Transfers development to Nexus Digital's advanced security platform. "As you can see," I said to the stunned shareholders, "while Madison was still installing legacy firewalls, Nexus was implementing quantum-level encryption. While you were buying more server racks, we were building generative neural systems. The DoD didn't block the acquisition. They practically handed us the keys." My father erupted. "This is absurd. You and your so-called company, your phantom staff and imaginary operations." "Imaginary?" I tapped a control. The wall displays filled with live streams of Nexus Digital's global network. Remote teams working across every continent. Engineers collaborating in immersive virtual environments. AI clusters analyzing data at incomprehensible speeds. "Welcome to the new era, Dad. No skyscrapers required." The shareholder vote was over in minutes. Madison Technologies no longer existed as an independent corporation. Jennifer was removed as CEO. The board was dissolved. "Security will escort you to your offices," I informed them. "You have 1 hour to pick up personal belongings. Everything else is property of Nexus Digital." 1 hour. Jennifer gasped. "But my files, my clients." "Obsolete," I interrupted. "Just like the systems you ran." As they were led away, my father spun back to face me. "How long?" he demanded. "How long have you been planning this?" "Since the day you mocked my little website," I said with a calm smile. "That was the moment I decided to show you what real innovation looks like." The following weeks were chaos, productive chaos. Madison's lavish offices were sold off. Their clunky products were retired. Their massive on-site workforce was given the opportunity to join Nexus's remote global network after intensive modern tech training. A month later, I sat in my real workspace, a high-tech command hub inside a renovated warehouse. No marble floors. No skyline view. Just screens filled with real-time data from our worldwide operations. My phone buzzed with a headline. Madison Technologies dissolves into the cloud. How a small online platform consumed a giant. 3 messages arrived one after another. From Jennifer. I finally understand what you built. I should have recognized its brilliance. From Dad. You were right. The future isn't concrete in conference rooms. It's your world now. From Mom. We misjudged you. We were painfully wrong. I didn't reply to any of them. Sarah stepped into the room. The integration is complete, she reported. Every trace of Madison's infrastructure is now part of our cloud network. She hesitated, then added, smiling. Your family's been trying to buy Nexus Digital shares through third-party brokers. I laughed. Pity for them, we're not publicly traded. Some doors can't be bought open. Later that evening, I walked past the workers dismantling the old Madison Technologies sign from the former headquarters. In its place, a sleek digital panel glowed with the Nexus Digital emblem. Minimal, functional, uncompromising. Dad's old taunt echoed faintly. Still tinkering with your little website? I smiled to myself, thinking of the future waiting ahead, quantum platforms, adaptive AI, systems that would make our current tech look ancient. No, I whispered. I'm not tinkering anymore. I'm rewriting the world.